unless we invest in addressing the root causes of these problems. And this is a hard task. It is a task that you don't carry out or achieve results thereof in a fortnight, but rather we need to really walk the talk as well, because we meet every time, whether it is at the AU summits or other sub-regional meetings, and leaders meet to address problems, but it keeps going around almost to where we started from, and we keep seeing more conflict. So I think we need to put a sense of urgency in this. We need to be a little bit more serious in doing things rather than just talking about things, because we have crises, we have poverty that we need to address, we have this opportunity for growth across the continent with the youth, with the women, with building systems and institutions to help us overcome that. But we can't drop the ball right in the middle of it for smaller interests or benefits and forget about the continental. Now, for example, in place there is African continental free trade area that has been created. We must capitalize on that and benefit from it, so that we just don't have it in a name, but in real practice, we are not realizing the benefits of that. And we won't realize the benefits until countries work together in peace and have security and in stability. Then the whole thing is we are doing very good things on one hand, then on the other, we just miss the opportunity of what those things would give us for our future. So it's a big challenge. Talking about it is simple. As you asked me the question, I can easily answer it, but I think we need to do more of the things that give us the results we want than just turn the whole thing into an academic exercise. So thank you very much for the question.
Dr. Kagame, I said Doctor. President Kagame, always very practical. I'll come back to you on that because it's something that we need to fix in Africa as a key factor for the development of our continent, and we know you have a track record in that area. Now let's talk to Dr. Tadross. Again, my brother, the last time we physically saw each other was at the 2019 28 Melu Foundation Entrepreneurship Forum in Abuja also. It is indeed astonishing to think of how much the world has changed since then. With the development of the COVID vaccines, humanity sees a chance to curb the pandemic and return to a semblance of normalcy. However, the stampede for vaccines, as the stampede for vaccines increased, we are witnessing the rise of vaccine nationalism. Our sister, Dr. Okonjo-iweala, called it vaccine inequity. Africa, with a population of over 1.2 billion people, has less than 20 billion of its population vaccinated thus far. The question, how can we ensure fair and equitable access of the vaccine for all? Realize and noting what Dr. Okonjo-iweala said, knowing her for her statistics, that by investing just $50 billion US, we can get further wealth in the world of $9 trillion US. And in fact, nation states can make $1 trillion US from taxes alone. Dr. Tadross, I really admire you. proud of you, but I don't envy you sitting there at a time like this. But we know you're capable. Over to you, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Tony. This is a very important question. And as you rightly said, the share that Africa got so far is only 1.5% of what's delivered. And it's insignificant. You can't even count. And the problem is, I think I have said it many times, it's vaccine nationalism. I even said yesterday during the assembly, it's very difficult to find any diplomatic word for this. We have to say it straight, and it's vaccine nationalism. And many are calling it even vaccine apartheid. I think that also represents it. So I think discussing candidly is very, very important. We need to have an honest discussion on this, and that's what we're trying to do from WHO side. Although it triggered some challenges when we started saying those words, but telling the truth is important in order to overcome the problem. And when we come to the solutions, I think the world should be, first of all, to end this pandemic, should agree on the importance of cooperation. There are three ways that countries can engage each other. It's cooperation, competition, and confrontation. For this pandemic, you cannot choose the two, the competition and confrontation. It's the only option is cooperation. Because it's a common enemy. And cooperation starts from sharing what's available. So we fight the common enemy everywhere. And when we say share, it's not charity. It's actually in the interest of the whole world, even in the interest of the developed countries who can share. They're better protected when they share than when they only try to protect their own people. So the immediate we're pushing now is sharing, and we have some good news, especially the past 2 weeks. US has announced the largest 80 million doses to share, and many other countries, France, New Zealand, Norway, have already announced. And Sweden, Denmark, I hope this will continue, and this will help us to address the critical challenges that we have now. Then we have the immediate and long term. For the immediate and long term, we need to increase the volume of vaccines we have, and for that the manufacturing will be key. And we have the CTAP for technology transfer. There is voluntary licensing that AstraZeneca had started. We are encouraging others to do. And then that could include intellectual property waiver. The US had already supported, and many countries are supporting. Yesterday, probably you heard during the assembly, the Prime Minister of Spain was very strong on that. So we should use all options we have, starting from voluntary